talk about the fight in a minute, but I feel like the call-out's more important.
I guess I'll put this down now.
No, go for the effect.
Yeah, you know, I just beat the number 5 ranked guy in the world, and you know, I always say the most important time to ask for a fight is after you win. You got to capitalize, and you know, I'm not out to engage in some verbal pissing match with the guy. I respect his skills. He's super tough. I'm just trying to get to a world title, and I think that's the fight that makes most sense when you look at the top 5. You know, I said before the fight, you know, I beat Rafael dos Anjos. I'm not fighting anybody that's ranked less than 5. I'm taking his spot and just looking at the landscape of the division. That's the fight that makes sense. I want to be tested. I want to fight the best. So, Colby it is.
So many guys won't do that, won't do those big call-outs like that. They'll just, you know, whoever the UFC gives me, that kind of thing. How far before this fight did you know that was the name that you'd wind up saying if you won?
I mean, not until like a few weeks ago. You know, I kind of waited to see until how 245 ended. You know what I mean? I just kind of wanted to see what happened with like Tyron and Leon and everybody. But I think it's a fight that makes sense. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't go ask for some outlandish matchup. Anytime I've won a fight and asked for an opponent, I've usually got it, and that's because it's all well thought out. I just don't throw things against the wall that aren't going to stick. I just think it's a fight that makes sense. I think it's a fight I could get. So we'll see what happens.
What did he show you in that fight that makes sense for you beyond just what the number is next to his name?
It just showed that I'm tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I just went out there and look at the guys that have beat RDA. You know what I mean? And you know, one of the best guys that beat him. So I'd like to think that I'm going to join the echelon of those guys, of those fighters, in that same aspect. You know what I mean? I'm going to become a champion. Prove that tonight. I went out and beat a championship caliber fighter. And that's it, you know what I mean? So I want to be great. I want to fight the best guys. I want to test myself. I want to see what my limits are. I don't think a lot of guys in the sport really have that mentality. You know what I mean? I'm not out to find easy fights. Colby Covington's a nightmare matchup for me, but I'm ready to walk through the fire. I want to fight the best guys.
Did things go as easy for you tonight as it sometimes looked?
I wouldn't say it was easy.
I mean, you did make it look easy.
He's a really strong guy. He's a really strong guy. I'll admit. Round 2, he started to really gain some momentum on me. But you know, in between rounds 2 and 3, my coach sat me down and you know gave me the pep talk. This is 5 minutes of your life, man. Put the pedal to the floor. Don't let off. Really reignited the fire, and I was able to go out there round 3 and really push the pace. You know, I think if we would have had another back and forth round in that 3rd round, we maybe could have stole fight of the night. But you know, I'm not out to win fight of the nights. I'm out to win fights. So I went out there and did just that. I mean, if you look at my last, I mean, if you go all the way back to the Kevin Lee fight, he fought for a title. Anthony Pettis was a champion. Carlos Condit was a champion. Diego fought for a title. RDA was a champion. Let's go. You know what I mean? I only want to fight guys that have been champions or have been in title fights. I want to keep that same theme going forward.
Third fight now at welterweight. How are we feeling? You looked sensational, so are you feeling as good as you looked?
Dude, I feel amazing. The crazy thing is, this was the first time I've ever had to cut less than 10 pounds for a weight cut in my entire career. You know, even the Diego fight and the Condit fight, I had to cut like 12, 13 pounds. So I only had to cut 8 pounds to make weight, and I actually weighed in tonight bigger than I ever have for any of my 3 welterweight fights. I weighed in at 188 pounds. So it just feels good, man. My body's responding well. I think it's taken a year for me to finally grow into it. You know what I mean? It's taken some time for me to really build my body into this weight class, and it's really coming full circle. I mean, RDA, he's a strong guy, man. I mean, it might have looked easy to you guys, but after getting my hands on him, that guy's legit, dude. Like, he's a very strong competitor, and you know, this is just the right weight class for me. Even if I had came up short tonight, it wouldn't have changed my mind to go back down. This is the weight class that I will end my career as, 170. This is, in my opinion, this is one of the most prestigious elite weight classes in the sport. You know what I mean? If you go back, you got Matt Hughes, George St. Pierre, Pat Miletich. You know what I mean? The lineage at welterweight is so deep. You know, next to heavyweight, I think this is the most prestigious weight class in the sport, in the UFC. So it's an honor to be here, and come Monday, you guys better put my name in the top 5. I'm going to be looking for all y'all.
So I have to ask now,
Yeah.
because you say that this is the weight class for you. What if a 165 opened up? You said you only had to cut 8. You think that might be more your speed?
I'll go 175 before I go 165. I like feeling good. You know what I mean? It's with that weight cut really messes with, at least for me, it's really messes with my confidence. You know what I mean? Before, when I was at lightweight, if I wasn't in camp, the belief was there. Like, I'm going to be a world champion. I believe in my skills. I believe in myself. And I get into these camps, I get into these tough weight cuts, and all of a sudden my confidence starts getting sapped. And I start doubting myself. So it's not just about how I feel; it's about how I think. So if 165 comes around, that means 175 is coming around. And I'm going north. I'm not going south. I'm going 175.
So speaking of how you're feeling in that fight, this was obviously only 3 rounds. Really, arguably, could have been the main event of this event and been a 5-round fight. Do you feel like you finished strong? You still looked good. Do you think another 2 rounds you would have been the same?
Oh yeah, like I said, I felt tired after round 2, but my coach gave me the pep talk and I was able to turn it back on and catch second wind. I definitely could have kept the fight going. I mean, I'd have to go back and watch, but my corner said it looked like he was pretty fatigued as well. And I'm a dog, man. It's just because I get tired doesn't mean I'm gonna lay off the gas. You know what I mean? So, but with that being said, if it was a 5-round fight, we would have trained for a 5-round fight. So, it's kind of a different scenario. But, 5-round main event comes around, I'll be ready.
Absolutely. You're wrestling with Shark tonight. I saw coming into this fight, at the very least, you were training with former NCAA champion Mike Machiavello. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. How long have you been working with him, and was that for this fight specifically? Did that affect this fight? Do you think it was good for you?
That was just this fight week, honestly.
Was it?
Yeah, we got out here Sunday. I got out here early. I got a hold of Nick Gwizdowski, and he kind of introduced us to the guys at NC State, and Mike kind of tagged along with us. Awesome guy. I actually gave him some gloves and some gear to kind of like, hey man, come to the dark side. Come to the dark side. When you get done with your international wrestling career, come do MMA. But he's an awesome guy, man, and it was cool that my last hard workout before I started the weight cut, we actually got to roll around, and he showed me some techniques, and he was just super cool, man. I mean, if you ever see the guy, he's a freaking gorilla, and I watched him at one of his wrestling practices, and I watched him going live, picking up heavyweights above his head, and so I'm like getting ready to roll with him. I'm like, all right, man, easy on me. I didn't even make it to state in high school, so don't hurt me. You know what I mean? But he was an awesome guy, dude. Super cool to roll with, and I can see myself doing that more in the future.
If this Colby fight happens, I know you said it's not necessarily anything personal against him. It's more about where he is in the rankings. He has a way of dragging people sort of into that pre-fight trash talk fray, and I mean, how would you sort of avoid that, and where would you fit into that equation with him?
Just ignore it. I mean, honestly, I was telling Karen Bryant this before the fight, like 2 weeks ago. I'm 0-2 in fights that I've tried to get into the trash talk stuff. You know what I mean? And then just because I'm not going to engage in it, that doesn't mean he's not going to. I know he'd be chirping and barking at me, and that's fine. I'm just not going to engage in it. I'm not going to buy into it. I'm just here to win fights. I'm not going to go against my personality. I'm not going to go against who I am. You know what I mean? I tried that. I tried to get into the trash talking. I even tried changing my style to turn into some striker, and I went out and got beat by Anthony Pettis and looked like a fool trash talking through that whole process. So it's like, I'd rather just let it be, man. I'd rather just be myself, and if he wants to do his thing, that's great. But I mean, you're not going to be able to drag me into that. Even if he talks about my mom or any of the shit that used to piss me off before, I'll keep my head. I'll just focus on the fight. Sorry, Mom, she's in the back.
If you can't get Colby, is there anything else, anybody else that would interest you? I know you're looking at top 5, but anything that jumps out at you?
Top 5. I mean, I'm not really focusing on anything else. I'm not taking. My theme is always no backward steps. Especially, I just went from 0 to 5, so I'm not going backwards from 5. It's 5 and forward, and that's it. 3-0. Beat former champion, former title contender, former title challenger, former champion. I'm not going backwards. It's only forward from here. So if I gotta wait for a while to get that fight, that's fine. Maybe somebody gets hurt before the London thing. My nose isn't too busted up, and maybe I'll jump into that. Who knows? But I only want to fight top 5 guys. I won 3 fights in a row welterweight against 3 tough guys. I'm here to be a champion. So no backward steps from here on going forward. Like I said, 2020, I will end the year as #1 contender. Put that in your headlines. Thank you.
Great.
Boom.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.